Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Tyler from the Keep Pounding podcast. Hope you guys are having a good week. We're gonna dive right into it and go over the game against the Bills. It was a pretty bad game overall. There were some good spots, but overall, it was not a good preview for this upcoming season. Uh, Offensively, defensively, thought special teams was okay, but it was not a good start to the season. We looked really well during the Hall of Fame game, albeit it's against backups, right? But the play calling looked good during that game. There was a different energy, and we just came out so flat against the Bills from the beginning. Um, I want to first talk about and go over, again, I think there were some positives to take away from this game, but especially defensively, but offensively, I just thought the Panthers really struggled pretty much across the board. And when I look at why the offense struggled, I think you can point to two major things. To me, it was offensive line and play calling, right? Carolina offensively, we only put up 200, just over 200 total yards, 201 yards. Buffalo had 396. We averaged 3.5 yards per play. Buffalo averaged 6.4. They dominated the punt time of possession. We had 18 first downs, none of them one of them by. Did we even get a first down? I think maybe we had one. I know there's one with Jalen Coker got brought back, but I don't even think the first team offense had a first down. The offense barely had the football the first half. So I want to let's start with the offense because I think that's where most of the concerns are coming out of this game. And let's start with Bryce. But I want to make it clear that I don't think Bryce was the only problem. I mean, Bryce's numbers were not great. He was 3 of 5 for 18 yards. He had a 67.1 passer rating. That's not good enough. That's not even close to good enough. It's not even mid. So obviously, if you look at those numbers, you should be disappointed with how Bryce played. But, the completions he had were to Tommy Tremble for 6 to 7 yards, DT Sanders for 3. He did have a nice screen pass to Jalen Coker for a solid game, but was wiped out by a penalty. And then third and short, right? The out of the 3 series, the first one, it was third and short, incomplete. Second series, third and short, pass batted down. Third and 6 on the final series, got sacked. And to be honest, Bryce never really had an opportunity to get into much of a rhythm. I thought the offense, obviously, they can't stay on the field, couldn't consistently run the football. They couldn't convert on the short yardage positions. And again, I'm not going to sit here and say Bryce played great. He didn't. But I also don't think this was a game where Bryce Young was given a lot to work with. But because I think the play calling, if you look at the Hall of Fame game to now, like the Hall of Fame game, you had Haynes King. Look at the play calling was night and day difference. It was a complete night and day difference. Again, not saying that Bryce Young played well, but the offensive line, I think, was probably the biggest issue in this game. This to me was the biggest issue. Chandler Zavala should never play another down in a Panthers uniform. He was trash. Chandler Zavala, the first play of the game, he got the defensive tackle blew him up the middle. They had a run that went to Jonathan Brooks, didn't go anywhere, but they couldn't create any running lanes, particularly in the short yardage situations. And that first play on the first series for the offense was just a preview of what we were seeing the rest of the game. Luke Fortner, just up front, that group, Luke Fortner, Chandler Zavala, and I forget the other guard's name because you have Robert Hunt and Damian Lewis that's out, right? We are a Damian Lewis, Rob Hunt injury away of being that trash up front. It was bad. Luke Fortner did not have a good game. He played really bad. I thought the other center, Sam Heck, did a lot better compared to last week. I thought Nick Samick played really well. But the offensive line in general was not good. They were not good up front. And this looked like the play calling was very stale to me. They couldn't run it consistently because the offensive line can't sustain any drives, any momentum whatsoever, no explosive plays at all. And they barely had the football the first half. Three and outs. That's trash. It's not good. It's not good. And I really thought like Brad Idzik, we would come out and like again, we don't expect, you know, it's the preseason. You don't expect them to come out and have all these exotic looks, but you got to you look at what the Bills did. Josh Allen was throwing the ball down the field the first play of the game, 20 something yards against Mike Jack. They took took 3 plays for Josh Allen to go down the field and get in the red zone. They can do it. Why can't we do that? It was horrible. That there was to me right now. There's no difference between Brad Idzik and Dave Canales. I know it's early. It's early, but this game offensively, I am worried for the offense. Again, Rob Hunt was out, Damian Lewis out. Solid guards, right? And I'm sure Luke Fortner's poor game was attributed to the poor guard play, right? Chandler Zavala wasn't good. But even when Bryce had time, it seemed like he couldn't find a receiver to get open. It was not the offense. From what we heard during training camp so far, the offense has been really good. That Bryce has been amazing, that he's been very accurate. T-Mac has been unstoppable. We hear all this stuff, and this is what happens, honestly, and this isn't a shot at like the beat reporters or anything like that, but this is what happens when you don't have fans out there that are telling you the true story of what's going on out there, that aren't nitpicking every single practice. This is what happens because all we hear all training camp is how good the offense has been and how they've destroyed our defense. I don't know how, because the defense played a lot better. Now, they didn't play great. We'll go into the defense in a minute, but the defense played a lot better this game than the offense did. I don't know what kind of offense, where that offense was in training camp to yesterday, but they didn't show up at all. So I am very concerned with play calling. I'm concerned with, if Rob Hunter, Damian Lewis comes out. It was great to see Jonathan Brooks out there and get on the field and get some reps, but he couldn't do anything with the line. Nothing. And if you can't establish a running game and you throw and you're not even taking shots down the field and you're throwing 3 to 6 yards down the field, guess what? The defense is going to do what they've done with us historically the last year or two. They're going to press the box, they're going to stack the box and dare Bryce Young to throw down the field. It looked terrible as a whole group. It wasn't just Bryce. It wasn't the receivers not being able to get open. It wasn't just the offensive line, which I feel like, again, that was the main issue going into the game. And when it's collective, it looks like a collective group doesn't play well, then that's coaching, in my opinion. They were not prepared. They didn't look good as a whole group. It wasn't someone that just stuck out. If I had to pick one, Chandler Zavala stuck out. And not even just the first play, but there was a play, I can't remember what series it was, where this dude didn't touch anybody. They snapped the ball. He gets one hand. He looks to the right. He doesn't see anybody. He looks to his left. He missed the guy that whipped around him. This dude looked lost. He looks like he's never played football in his life. The dude should not be in a Panthers uniform ever again. If Rob Hunt or Damian Lewis goes out and this dude comes in, and Chandler Zavala, he's never been good, but I've never seen him that bad. I don't ever want to see him. He should not be on the field. That was trash. It was not good at all. Now, defensively, I thought we looked pretty good. Defensively, we were able to get to the pass rush. Now, there are some concerns. They gave up almost 400 yards. They gave up, what was it? DJ Moore cooked us for 3 receptions, 61 yards. DJ Moore cooked us, dude. He loved it. But and it's the typical Evero defense that we've seen, right? And again, it's preseason. I get there's context to this, but preseason gives you a sneak peek of what to expect during the season. But Buffalo's offense came out firing immediately and did not let the foot off the gas until they got rid of Josh Allen. And even when Josh Allen sacked, Colin Allen cooked us too. But we gave up multiple chunk plays. Buffalo got into the red zone after only 3 plays on the first drive. That's insane. But again, both Josh Allen and Colin found success against Evero's zone defense. But to be 6 for 8, 111 yards, 1 touchdown, and 156.2 passer rating in 2 series, that's not good. Now, the defense, the pass rush was there. Now Josh Allen is Josh Allen. Josh Allen is really good, right? Josh Allen can make plays. There are several plays where I believe it was Travis Gibson, if I'm not mistaken, that was able to get some pressure and almost get a sack on Josh Allen, but he was able to escape, create a little bit of distance, and throw the football right in the middle of the end zone for a touchdown. Like, that's going to happen. Josh Allen is elite. Those plays are going to happen. But to give up significant chunk plays like DJ Moore, again, he had a 30-yard reception. Then he had one for 18 yards. You had the first play of the game for almost 20 yards. There were several big chunk plays that the Bills were able to execute on our defense, first team defense, and we had zero. So the biggest concern for me defensively continues to be the same thing we've seen. The defense giving up the chunk plays. Now, they do have that bend, don't break mentality. We saw when they got to the end zone or the red zone that Jalen Phillips stepped up. Jalen Phillips was exactly what we wanted to see. But Jalen Phillips generated a good amount of pressure. He forced Allen to throw the ball away. He made Buffalo settle for a field goal instead of a touchdown in the first series. But that's the kind of impact you want from Jalen Phillips. He doesn't necessarily have to get a sack every time, but he has been known, obviously, to create pressure. And pressures can change the outcome of a drive, and that's valuable. So to me, Jalen Phillips is as advertised. And so Princely stepped up. Princely looked really good. To me, Princely, I know they gave the sack to Jalen Phillips, but Princely should have had a half a sack on that play. I believe it was the first drive. But Princely looked really good. Princely, compared to the Hall of Fame game, he stepped up to the other day. So that is good to see. And there was no Pat Jones there as well. So the pass rush, which we complained about last year, looked really good. Devin Lloyd looked really good too. Devin Lloyd, what they used him to be able to, that he generated a pressure on a blitz. But he's going to be a guy that's going to have an impact on this defense. He was able to, on one play, he closed really quickly and stopped James Cook for a loss. It was an excellent play. But Devin Lloyd looks really good. Now, again, I think the pass rush is getting there. It did get there several times, and Buffalo made some plays, but this secondary looked terrible. Now, I'm not an X's and O's guy. I'm not at all. I don't pretend to be. So I don't know if it was a schematic thing, but the Bills' offense was able to pick apart that zone very easily, consistently. And that is something that I am concerned about because, yes, I believe in you need to tighten up in the red zone, and I get apart the bend, don't break mentality, but that's against players that are mid. Bro, we have J.C. Horn, Mike Jack, one of the better duos in the league, Trayvon Merrick, Lathan Ransom's coming in his own. We got better up front. We're generating pressure. There's no excuse for Evero this year. There's no excuse. Now, I'm not going to say like he needs to go. I'm not saying that at all, but this is a year that you got two elite free agents and Jalen Phillips and Devin Lloyd, and they were as advertised the other day. There's no more excuses for Evero. I think they have a solid defense. Darkness. Get Pickett and Nick Scott off my team. Shaw Smith, Wade, Cheeks. Yeah, I mean, Pickett was not good, man. He looked slow in the pocket. He's not it either. I want to see more Hanks King. Pickett is going to, at best, not lose you a game, but he did not look good either. He had 4 shots down the field. When we did take a shot, he took 4 of them, and he missed every single one. You had one of them with Jasim Reed with a go route, and there was the pass interference call down the sideline. But outside of that, the dude we didn't connect really on any deep shots. Also, what the hell? Why the fuck is JC not following the one? Yeah, I think you'll see that a good amount. And remember, JC Horn is going to be in the slot a lot this year too. It's going to be interesting to see. Again, it's preseason. I know they're not going to show everything right, but neither are the Bills, and the Bills are successful. I do kind of believe in that. It's the preseason, but the preseason matters. It may not matter as far as your record, but it matters how you play in the preseason. And this was not a good look. defensively, again, I was impressed with the pass rush. I'm excited about that. It sucks that Nick Scorton's out for the year, but up front, I thought for the most part we did okay against the run. James Cook had several good runs against us, but overall, I felt like we were able to kind of stop the run. We're able to generate pressure, but our secondary was trash. And last year, our secondary was really good. So, I still think this defense will be really good. I'm really concerned about the offense, particularly the play calling, and I'm praying that the guards don't get hurt this year. And as far as the secondary goes, I thought Zakee Wheatley, the rookie, I thought he had a great day. I thought he tackled it really well. He looked comfortable defensively, but this is a guy I really want to highlight that I really think he's going to, maybe not this year, but I do think he can be someone that can compete for that safety role. He's obviously going to make the team. He's going to be on special teams, but I did think he had a really good day. But the tackling really, really stood out for me. Trevin Wallace, I thought he had a decent day. He played well in coverage. Obviously, you had Claudin Sherlis that started. He got beat pretty bad a few times, but again, I'm not an X's and O's guy. I don't know if it was more beat because of his play or if it was beat due to the scheme. And that's the difference that I saw with the Bills. The Bills are able to scheme their guys open. We can't do shit. I haven't seen anything. It looks terrible, bro. It looks terrible. The Panthers collectively should be embarrassed about what happened the other day. It looked terrible. But some of the players I thought were some bright spots. I thought Travis Gibson had a good day. I thought last year when he had reps, he looked really good as far as generating pressure. He did get a sack. He should have had the other one, but it was he grabbed Josh Allen's face mask, and it should have been a punt or a field goal. I can't remember where their field position was, but that negated it, and then I think it led to a touchdown. But I thought Travis Gibson had a great day. On that play, he generated, or that drive, he had another pressure where Josh Allen escaped and eventually scored. But Travis Gibson, I thought, looked really good. And so I like that as a depth piece outside of Pat Jones and Princely. Cam Gill, who we picked up after Nick Scorton got injured, he had a good day. I thought he had an excellent. I was really impressed with his sack. He had a really good pass rush rep against the left tackle where he had really good hand usage, was able to create a little bit of separation and bend, and was able to get to the quarterback. I thought Thomas Nkum looked solid. He looked really good in the run. So I like the depth there up front, specifically the edge rushers. I really like the depth there. But I'm just kind of concerned and still unsure about the Claudin Sherlis and Trevin Wallace, who's going to take that spot. I thought neither player really has taken the lead or taken that position to that starting role yet. I think it's still up for grabs. But the depth at outside linebacker, to me, I was impressed. I was impressed with that. And again, secondary, I thought the secondary, specifically the backups, were not that great. I thought Will Leawood looked okay. He did have a rep where you could see he went for an interception but missed it. He kind of tried to uncut the route and get it, missed it, and the receiver was able to get 9 yards. But there was nothing really. I didn't see Willie get beat really bad, so that was good. I thought Isaiah Simmons looked really good on special teams, and then later in the game when he was playing on defense, I thought he had a really good open tackle in space that prevented one of the Bills' offensive players from getting out of bounds late in the half. So. And then Jason Kuwach, I thought he looked really good. I thought he looked solid. Again, nothing really stood out, but you could see his instincts, being disciplined, his hustle. I like that. So I think hopefully, he's a 7th round draft pick, so you're not going to expect too much. But it was nice to see the rookies play well. I thought the rookies overall played pretty good. Lee Hunter, I didn't see too much, whether good or bad with that. But I am concerned outside of Mike Jackson and J.C. Horn, the corners, Corey Thornton, I feel like he kind of has taken a step back, hasn't played as good as I know he can, but hopefully he can kind of rebound. But it'll be interesting to see who I feel, you have Jason or Shaw Smith Wade, you have Corey Thornton still competing for that linebacker or the nickel position. So we'll see who wins that. But secondary, I'm kind of worried, man. I'm kind of worried about the secondary right now. But yeah, it's just the biggest concern with me are these chunk plays. And we're gonna have a tough schedule. Man. Like we're playing the Bears the first game of the year, and they're a high scoring team, right? Let's kind of look at the schedule here. You got the Bears, not worried about Atlanta. Cleveland Browns, not worried about Detroit. They can be good. Obviously, you have the Eagles, the Bucks. I'm not too worried about. Packers solid, Broncos solid, Ravens. And so, I mean, out of all these groups, I would say, that we're playing Joe Burrow. You got to watch out. Lamar Jackson, we got to watch out for. But, we're playing against a really good offense with Josh Allen and the Bills, right? We're playing a really good group. But that doesn't negate, there was there was nothing that I took from the offense that I was like, they didn't play too bad or terrible, but we saw some flashes here. No, there was nothing, bro. Nothing. And it shows how important the offensive line is. I'm less worried about play calling for offense only because it felt like they're trying to force the ball to JB, see how he would be. And JB had a one or two solid reps, but I don't know if they were trying to force it. I just feel like Brad Idzik kind of knew that the guard position was that's the only thing I can say that would make sense to me. Why we didn't really push the ball down the field is because he knew the guards wouldn't hold up against that Bills defensive line. So he wanted to play more conservative, run the ball, screens, because you saw the screen to Jalen Coker, the screen to Jonathan Brooks, 6 yard in route by Tommy Tremble. There was nothing that I took away from the first team offense that I'm like, that's what we heard about so far throughout training camp. None. It felt like the rookie second year players actually tried. Everyone else just played lazy. Yeah, it didn't. Offense, they looked lost, bro. The offense looked lost. I felt like the defense, secondary looked a little lost too, but offense, they just looked. Even the second team offense looked bad. In general, the second team offense there's nothing. I think Kyle Trask was like the only one that played well, and he was the only one that had a turnover. But yeah, the offensively, I'm concerned, man. I am concerned about the offense more than I am the defense. They just look stale. The offensive line struggled. I'm interested to see if we can get a game with Damian Lewis and Rob Hunnan and see how significantly different it could look. But I'm concerned about the offensive line. I'm concerned about a little bit about the run game, because if the offensive line can't produce any blocks, that's going to put a lot of more pressure on Bryce, and then they're going to be able to stack more in the box. Short yardage situations I'm concerned about. I felt like, 3rd and 2, put AJ Dillon in there and let AJ Dillon get a few yards. Like, let's get a couple first downs and get the momentum going. Obviously, Bryce Young wasn't great. I feel like he held on the ball too long at times. But again, I don't think it was just a Bryce Young problem. I think it was an overall offensive problem. But yeah, defensively, there were some things I liked as far as the pass rush, but the chunk plays, man. I don't believe in the bend and don't break mentality when you have really good players from the front seven to the secondary. There's no bend or break mentality with that. You need to play football. We need to get after the quarterback. We need to play aggressive, and I did not see that as far as the secondary goes. I'm really excited about what I saw from Jalen Phillips. He was exactly what I was hoping for. Devin Lloyd, same. I liked what some of the rookies did, and Cam Gill, I was impressed too. But yeah, this was they got to do better. We're playing Jacksonville next Friday at Jacksonville. So August 21st. So we better have a better game than what we just had yesterday. So if you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, get in the comments. Let me know what your thoughts are, good, bad, and the ugly with the Bills game. What are you concerned about the most? Are you concerned more about the offensive line? Are you concerned about the secondary? Are you concerned more about the play calling, both offense and defense? Do you think that we will will we look different with the Jaguars coming up next week, we better, bro. Yeah, we better. This was not good. Not good at all. It was terrible. So I just want to hop on here, get my thoughts on it. I'll be on later this week and kind of go over what I want to see both offensively and defensively against the Jaguars, and go from there. But I just want to give my thoughts on the Bills game, and I'm a little worried, man. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little worried specifically offensively. But the Panthers have always been notorious of having slow starts, and hopefully this is a slow start, and they're just getting it out of their system. Hopefully it doesn't have to wait. They don't have to wait till, or we don't have to wait till week 5, 6, or 7 before they get the gears going. So this ain't it. And Dave Canales, like they've always been slow starting, man, always. So hopefully they can figure it out before week 1. So again, if you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, leave a comment. Appreciate you guys for watching. I will see you on the next one. Peace.